Alright, what's good with y'all? We back with another video, and today I am reviewing the Nike GT Cut 3s, but not just the regular Nike GT Cut 3s, man. The brand new black label Nike GT Cut 3 Turbos. They're supposed to be an upgraded version of the GT Cut 3 that some of y'all know and love, and we're gonna get into it, and I'll give my thoughts, opinions, and everything new about the shoe as well. I also did a full minute-long comparison of these versus the GT Cut 3s, the regular ones. It's in my shorts. You can go check that out. If y'all want to see side-by-side comparisons of all the tech and the look and everything like that goes on. So, let's get into it. Before we do though, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Alright, so to start, let's get into the look of the shoe. I'm not gonna lie, me personally, some of y'all said I was hating. If I have an opinion on something, I don't see how it's hating, but I don't like the look of this shoe. Maybe in some different colorways and everything, but this like little lines kind of reminds me of like a submarine or like a torpedo. And with the all black and just all the lines. Usually, like I said, I bought a lot of the black label shoes that dropped. The black is tough. It's just not hidden for me here. I see what they tried to do though. They did add some carbon fiber hints on the shoe, like this outer part. They also made the outer shank right here lower, so it doesn't dig into your foot as much, but still has the same stability. That was one of the changes they did from the 3 to the Turbo. And this carbon fiber is not actually carbon fiber. It's kind of like a soft rubber or something like that with the carbon fiber print on top. So yeah, they might have lied about that and added an extra $20, $30 on retail, because these come in at $210 retail. I will say though, one thing that I love that they did with these versus the other ones, I don't know if some of y'all experienced this, but with the GT Cut 3s, they have a really thick ankle padding, and then it's like its own separate material that goes up the back. And so with me, every time I tied the GT Cut 3s, I'd have to like pull them super tight, and it would kind of squish the padding a little bit, so my foot is secured to the like outer material and locked down. But as you play, it loosens up, and then the lockdown just gets kind of like worse and worse, and your foot never feels like 100% secure. Versus here, they just did like the normal layout of a hoop shoe. Like there's still ankle padding in there, but they made it so that the tongue and this really lock down your foot a lot better than GT Cut 3s. So I don't know if any of y'all had that issue, but that was an issue for me with GT Cut 3s. Definitely like this a lot better. Hugs your Achilles and your ankle a lot more snug than GT Cut 3s. I'm gonna go grab them real quick too to show y'all like the difference so it makes sense. So if you can see it up close, you see how like this is the like outer material, then the ankle padding is like a separate thing in here, and it's kind of separated from this. Then there's also like a shit ton of padding in the tongue of these, and it's super thick. When you lace this up, it squishes this in a little bit so that you're closer to this. But as you play, it just gets loose, and I had to keep retying the shoe tighter and tighter. That was my experience with GT Cut 3. Not just this color, I had like 3 pairs. Got rid of them because I'm not a fan of GT Cut 3s. Shoot me, kill me, I don't know. I don't like them. I didn't like the 2s or the 3s. The 3s I don't think are bad though, they're just not for me. And this is also a quick little look comparison side by side of the Turbos versus the 3s. Next, we'll get into midsole tech. So for this one, they said they upgraded it in a full length Zoom X, but it's still mixed with like some type of carrier foam. But they added more Zoom X in this one compared to this one. And I'm not gonna lie, the stepping comfort and actual feel on court, these definitely feel like they have more cushion and the cushion's a little bit better. Which, kind of good and bad. I feel like the heel on the GT Cut 3s is so high off the ground. And it's not like the widest thing in the world either. Like the forefoot drops off a little bit, and there's a really high heel to toe drop in these shoes. Part of the reason I don't like them as well. But the forefoot's wider, so stability is fine there. I just feel like in the heel, with it being so high up and kind of skinny, it's just not a good combo for me. I'm not hating though, just my opinion, man. I do love the Zoom X and the tech in this though. It definitely has a really good cushioning setup overall. As far as comfort goes, very plush. Do think the shoes are really narrow though, so for those with wide feet or flat feet, it's not a comfortable shoe for me. If anything, go a half size up, and it'll kind of help with that tightness and stiffness a little bit. Now we're gonna get into the outsole. So it has a herringbone traction. It's a little bit different than traditional herringbone, but herringbone nonetheless. And from what I read from the tech specs, the one on the Turbo is supposed to be a little bit more grippy than the regular ones. They felt about the same to me, but I do think these are a little bit better. And then instead of the typical just TPU plate they have in the middle, they added a carbon fiber plate on the turbos, which turned out to not be actual carbon fiber. It's just like a plastic with carbon fiber print. So yeah, another kind of budget cut Nike did, even though they upped the price on these. And on this outsole pattern, it kind of looks like they added like a little black marble design as well. But it is a solid rubber and not a translucent. As far as the traction goes though, so far when I wore these, they did hit, they did well, and the squeak was pretty loud. We did get into the fit before. Like I said, for me, I have normal to somewhat wide, flat feet. So these don't really fit me well. They're more on the narrow side in my opinion. But if you have normal to narrow feet, you'll be fine going true size. If you have a wider foot or you're kind of on that like borderline, 100% would go half size up. No question. Also forgot to mention they did upgrade the insole, if I can get it out. It is like this foam midsole. It has some ridges on it so your socks don't slip or slide in it at all. Some writing on the back too. Not like super thick or anything, and it's not a drop-in midsole by any means. But nice little touch that they added to their more premium model. We'll give them that. We did touch on the price of the shoe a little bit earlier as well. These come in at $210, but I'm not gonna lie to you, just like the GT Cut 3s, because they dropped a ton of colorways in the GT Cut 3s, and they weren't really limited at all. Within maybe like a month or two, you're definitely gonna start seeing these in outlets and getting them on sale and everything like that. So if you don't want to pay the $210 premium price for these, but if you want the premium tech that's in these shoes, give it a month or two, hoop in whatever shoes you got, or get some else that's a little cheaper, and then find these when they're on sale. They'll be in the outlets. They'll probably be on the Nike app as well. I got them going for like $100 in 2 months. No question. Maybe like $120 just because the retail price point is pretty high. But definitely a steal at that price. And so when we get into the weight of these shoes as well, the normal GT Cut 3s are like 30 grams lighter. They did change a lot of stuff around in this a little bit. And the materials are a little bit more premium in the upper compared to these. So it kind of makes sense. But they're still average weight. They're like on the bottom tier of average weight. So they're almost lightweight. The GT Cut 3s, the regular ones, they'll come in like 330 grams, which is a really lightweight shoe. This is average to close to light, 370 grams, which is 100% no problem. Still a great weight for a hoop shoe, especially with all the tech and stuff that's inside the shoe. My overall opinion on the shoe though, for the $210 price point, do I think it's worth it? No. And I'm also returning them myself, so yeah, obviously they're not worth it to me. I do think if they dropped different colorways, which I'm assuming they will, there might be a cool colorway that looks better. I just don't think GT Cut 3s are personally for me with my foot and play style, and they just kind of hurt my knees. Like, I don't know. A heel to toe drop puts a lot of pressure on my knees. It does something that no other shoe kind of does, from experience and wearing these and hooping in these versus other shoes that I wear often. But if they go on sale, I definitely think they're worth the price to tech and everything like that for you guys. I still will not be picking up another pair unless it happens to be something super exclusive. I think the paint splatter GT Cut 3s, the regular ones are coming out. Those are super tough, but I'm like, bro, I'm never going to wear them. And they're probably going to drop somewhere, PEs and just different colorways and stuff like that. So they're probably going to drop some cool ones. If you want them, you're probably going to have to get them at retail because the cool colorways tend to sell out and they tend to be a little bit more limited. But stuff like this, catch them in outlets. Definitely worth the price, especially if you already like the base GT Cut 3 model. It's just a slight improvement. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm out of here. Catch y'all on the next one.